Howdy cowpokes, and welcome back to another episode of 10 amazing details you probably didn't know in Red Dead Redemption 2. So for starting things off, in the Guarma finale, you are tasked with using the cannon to destroy the warship. However, if you keep missing your shots and keep needing to reload, Micah and Bill will scold you for it.
Missed! Why the hell did we put Morgan on the cannon? What are you doing? Try aiming at the big boat, Morgan!
We must destroy it! We won't last much longer!
Another reload? Come on, Morgan! Alright, shut up!
Come on! We have to sink that boat! Reloading!
Again? Will you please let me take over? Just give me a minute! We don't have a minute!
Number 2 is a missable interaction in Chapter 4 between Arthur and Javier, where Javier will approach Arthur to express his disgust living in the hot, humid, and hostile environment of the swamps, and how he would prefer living back in the mountains.
It's a nice place you brought us to, my brother.
Yes. Lovely, isn't it?
Makes me miss freezing to death in the mountains.
Yeah.
This next detail shows how Rockstar made the physics of certain textures and objects true to their real-life nature. Throwing knives or axes at a brick wall will not penetrate it, but rather bounce off, and throwing them at a wooden pallet, for example, that's right next to this brick wall, will actually pierce it. The next detail is kind of disturbing, which shows if you decide to hogtie someone and ride through water, they'll lift their heads up to gasp for air. In the Appleseed Timber lumber yards, you can find a handcar on the railway you can actually interact with. Even though it's really tedious and it's not ideal, you can still use it to get around on the track. During the battle scene in the fort on Guarma, Hercule will lead the charge down to the grounds. However, if you do not have a shotgun particularly equipped, he will point out one on the crate which he suggests you to grab. But if you already have one equipped, he just won't say anything.
Grab that shotgun, Arthur!
There's a lot of guns out there. So, what do we do?
This next detail is pretty cool. When approaching Meredith while she's still trapped in the cage, she will panic. And depending on where you approach her from, she will move away from you. No matter which angle, she will do everything in her power to avoid you.
Just calm down. It's okay, miss. We ain't gonna hurt you.
As far as I know, it's still not confirmed if Lenny and Jenny were dating. But regardless, in this missable stagecoach robbery mission with Micah in Chapter 4, you can hear him say that he had an entanglement with Jenny. while they were still living at the Blackwater camp. This is very easy to miss, even if you've already played the missable mission, as the dialogue normally cuts off by the time you arrive at the location. If you ride slow enough, you'll be able to hear it.
You're gonna make somebody a real lucky lady one of these days, Micah.
You know I had Jenny. Let's cut across here. It'll be quicker.
What?
Yeah. Round the back of the Blackwater camp. Dirty little thing, too. Come to think of it, I wonder if Lenny knows.
Don't tell him that!
She could have been carrying Micah Bell the Fourth, for all I know. Shame. Well, anyway, that's enough reminiscing about love. We gentlemen have ourselves a coach to rob.
In the northeastern region of Roanoke Ridge, on a small overhang overlooking the railroad, you will find this point of interest showing a fossilized giant's corpse. As most players know by now, there's a small population of giant remains players can find around the map. This is one of the easiest ones to miss. It seems Rockstar had a lot more planned with the giants than what we were able to see, but as far as all this, I have plans on making a video about this, which I'll discuss all of that later. And lastly, this detail could just be coincidental or maybe just a recycled character model. But in the final missions with the Downs family, Arthur can find Mrs. Downs propositioning a group of men in Annisburg. One will quickly insult her and they both will walk away. But if you look closely, one of them looks exactly like the foreman that was harassing Archie. The one that you find at the mine entrance. You can decide for yourselves. I think maybe it was just a reused character model because immediately after this is when you go to the mine entrance and that's where you find him bullying Archie. However, he could have already been on his way there to bother Archie, I'm not too sure. And maybe this was Edith's way of, I guess, buttering him up so he'll leave him alone.
I said, hell, even a blind hog finds an acorn every once in a while.
Hey, you want company, boys?
Sure, because I want to be pissing needles tomorrow.
Hey, boy, your mom's a whore, little boy.
Why don't you shut up?
Who's this, your daddy?
My daddy died. And this man, he killed him. What are you doing here?
Leave the boy alone.
Why'd you kill his daddy? You after his mama?
Stop bullying the boy.
Get out of my business, mister.
Leave the boy alone,
Or what?
or I'll kill you too.
You couldn't kill no one. Look at you, all ragged and sick and weak. Clear off, you goddamn hermit. Clear off! You and the whore's son here.
Wake him up a little!
Forgiveness? There's some folks who don't deserve it.